This is such a great question, and one that the leadership team at Humi has spent a lot of time focusing on in the last little bit. And I suspect employers overall really have had to do this. It's interesting when we take a look at parallel industries, for example, the sports industry. Athletes have a rest season, right? They're on the field for 6 months of the year, maybe even less. And the rest of the time is dedicated to restoring one's body, getting back in shape, taking a break from the playing field. And we celebrate this, and no one would ever question it. But somehow, when we take a look in the business world, when we start talking about tech in particular, there's generally a different outlook, right? It's like, how can I push you more, harder, get everything um, that we possibly can from our employees? But I think the pandemic specifically has highlighted how quickly that kind of mentality can lead to burnout and to fatigue that is very difficult to overcome. So, Humi, being an employee first company that not only thinks about its employees, but thinks about the employees of other employers, we've taken a lot of time to think about what does it mean to provide the space and the support system required for employees to feel healthy mentally and physically every day. We've implemented a couple of initiatives that I want to highlight. The first is a longer weekend initiative. So, longer weekends mean uh, that we end our work week at 1 o'clock on Fridays. Means that we are down to whatever that is, 34-hour weeks. At the onset, that might not seem like a lot. Okay, so what? You get Friday afternoons off. But I will say firsthand, it's actually had a lot bigger impact than I thought. I find myself on Saturdays feeling like I'm in the middle of a 3-day weekend all the time. And just having that couple of hours on Friday afternoon to clear my desk, to get a head start on any errands that I need to run, to be able to go for a bike ride with a friend before the weekend truly starts means everything. It means that by the time Sunday rolls around, and perhaps Sunday evening, if I'm starting to gear up to get back to work, I've had my rest. I don't feel like I'm encroaching on my precious weekend time. So, longer weekends is one such initiative. Um, we also have a very respectful culture, which really does not have email or Slack conversations happening out of hours. I think this is really important in the hustle culture that we especially see in tech. A lot of people think that you should be working at all hours, and it's just up to the individual to decide if that works for them or not. But the underlying sentiment, whether it's said explicitly or not, is I'm working all the time, so you should be working all the time. But I have to say that I don't receive emails after 5:30 or 6. I certainly don't receive anything on the weekend, and Slack is equally respectful. That allows me the space to do some deep thinking time if I choose to. It also allows me the space and time to think about other things and not feel pressured like I really should be responding to something that maybe I don't actually have the energy to, or I wouldn't do it nearly as well if I did it when I was well rested at another time. So those are just two of the ways in which Humi's leadership team is really thinking deeply about how to better support employees outside of providing, a robust health package or benefits package. It's some of the more creative ways, if you will.